Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for blessing me with your presence today. So today is the last summer set that I will be doing for the summer. I missed out so much because I took a month off. So yeah, I'm stuck like Chuck now. So this is the last one I'm going to be able to do. And since it is the last summer set, and application was horrible, this will be a nails and tails of how I started my year off. So coming into this new year, we decided to go hang out with this guy my husband met at work back in like the end of October, and his girlfriend. So we was gonna go out to eat, and they was gonna go out to eat, get some drinks. I like to drink, so my husband does also. So it's like we're gonna go out to eat, get us some drinks, bring New Year's in together, and everything gonna be fine, right? So we're gonna rewind back to November. So November, him and my husband, they worked the third shift, so they'd come home early in the morning, and since they didn't want to wake anybody up before school time, they'd just like play the game together and chill until it's time for them to take the kids to school. So they'd be playing the game and stuff, and then Mark, that's what we're gonna call the guy my husband work with, Mark was like, oh yeah, my son's birthday is the day before Christmas, and we having a birthday party. So can you bring your kids and your wife, and we all just like get to meet each other, because I never met them. Besides, I only met him through the phone. I never met his girlfriend. And so he's like, and then we all get to meet, and then we could plan when we go hang out. And so my husband was like, okay, cool, that'd be fine. Just let us know the exact time. So he was like, all right, I'll let you know. So then fast forward. So December come, it's like December 23rd, the little boy birthday is December 24th, and that's the day of his party, which I think landed on like a Sunday. I think it landed on a Sunday last year. And so I got sick, and my husband was like, he'll still go because he want to get a kid this gift and just show support and thank him for inviting us. But I don't like him to take the little two small chicken. This little boy was turning 5. And so I'll be like, our oldest two ain't going to care about going to a little 5-year-old birthday party. But the two smallest ones, they'll go. But I don't like my husband to kind of like take them nowhere by himself unless they're going to go play like basketball or football at the park. Other than that, like I feel like I have to be there. And so he was like, all right, I'll just go by myself. I'm like, okay, cool. Just let me know when you get there. So he gets there, and he's just like, yeah, the house is a little messy, but, it's cool. But that's my husband's second time being there. The first time he went there was my husband was selling him his TV, because since the little boy birthday party was coming up, Mark is the type that likes to stunt. So the birthday party was coming up, so he looking like, I'm having a house party, I got to buy all new furniture. So he bought a new section, a dining room table. He bought the TV from my husband. And then all the older furniture he put downstairs in the basement, pretty much like where the party was going to be at for the kids, but the adults was going to mainly be upstairs. So he wanted to stunt, oh, I got this. So they had to mount the TV up downstairs. He also had to help him. The TV was like 81 inch. So he had to help him carry in the house, take it downstairs, and mount it up on the wall. So that's exactly what he did. And he was just like, the house was a little messy, but by the time the party comes, it should be straight. And the only reason my husband mentioned this is because he has OCD. So he would start like having a little bit of anxiety if it's too messy. And I think he kind of felt that. So that's why he had mentioned it to me. He was like, well, by the time the party come, the house should be straight. It should be clean. It's probably just like this right now because they're trying to get everything situated and moving everything around. Because like I said, they had just bought new furniture. So the party comes, my husband's there, and he's just like, yeah, still messy. Like, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here for. He's like, but I came to show some support, and I brought a little kid as gifts. So I'm going to just, talk to Mark, chat it over with Mark for a little bit longer, and then I'll be leaving. And so I'm like, okay, cool. So then he called me like a little bit later and was like, yeah, I'm sitting in the basement. Mark asked him to help him do something around the house. I think it was like fix a light fixture or something. And so my husband was like, okay, I'll stay a little bit longer and help you. And so he was like, there was a bunch of kids there. He had his mom there, his sister, and they downstairs. He was like, yeah, they got their purses on the floor, wide open. He was like, so it's just like everybody was comfortable there. And my husband, he can make himself look comfortable, but if it's messy, he can't actually be comfortable on the inside. And so he helped them with the light fixture, and then he came home. And so after that, we was like, okay, Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. And so then we was like, all right, we just going to hang out, bring New Year's in together. So then New Year's Eve come, and they live in the city. So whenever I say city, I mean Detroit. They live in Detroit. We live like in a country type area, which is 40 minutes away. So we was like, let's just meet in the middle in like the suburban area, and we'll go out to eat, bring New Year's in, have us some drinks, lab chill, have like a little mini party because me and my husband spent New Year's there before and we loved it. So it was like, let's just go back there. And so they was like, oh no, like, why don't y'all just come over our house first and we could pregame. And that way I was able to meet him in person along with his girlfriend. And so we was like, let's just meet in the middle. We'll meet y'all at the place, at the bar, and we'd chop it up there. Like, we got a pregame at y'all house for. And so they was just like, no, like, just come over. We could pregame to get to know each other. We don't want to get there too early anyway. So it was meeting up with them at 8. And it's like, we don't want to get there too early anyways. And so we was like, all right, cool, that makes sense. All right, so we always late. So we end up leaving our house at 8. And then getting there a little bit before 9 because we have to stop at the liquor store and get something to drink. Because I like dark liquor, like Crown Royal, Henny, and, on a little cheap day, E&J. And so my husband got me some Crown Royal because Mark and his girl drink something else. And so Mark was getting their drinks. My husband was getting our drinks. And so by the time we put up to the house, Mark wasn't there. So my husband called him, like, where you at? He was like, oh, yeah, I had to drop the kids off down the street. So my girl there, so y'all could just go knock on the door and she'll let y'all in. And my husband really don't feel comfortable with stuff like that. But she knew we were coming, so he was just like, all right, let's just go knock at the door. And so we knocked on the door. She opened the door up. Like, we spent New Year's together. And it's not hot here in Michigan. So she has on, like, this shirt where you see almost everything except her boobs. Like, it was like a wraparound shirt. And it was just like, girl, you ain't cold now? Hold on, it's freezing in this. Like, I'm freezing. Like, you ain't cold? But I'm like, maybe she got something to throw over it. So it's like, all right, so everything cool. Because when a person get cold and uncomfortable, they be ready to leave if we go out. That was just my thought. Like, I don't want you to be out and you be freezing and then being like, all right, I'm ready to go home. Because we've run into stuff like that with people being like, I don't want to be here no more. Like, let's go. So I personally didn't want it to be nothing like that because you're in these streets half naked and it's freezing outside. But I'm like, maybe she got something to put over it. So she's saying hey to us, and it's like she didn't want to let us in the house or something because I literally she just stood there looking at us. So then I took a step into the door, and then that's when she backed up and was like, oh, yeah, come in. So then we come in, you look around, and it is a mess. Like, my husband, he didn't tell me how much of a mess it was. I'm thinking it's just like a little messy from, like, the kids' toys or something. Like, no. They had clothes and stuff everywhere. They had a couple of plates on the table. They had game controllers. Yes, they had the kids' toys and stuff everywhere. Open Christmas gifts still sitting out. It was just weird, and it made you feel uncomfortable. Like, it just felt nasty. Like, have you ever been over somebody's house and they be like, oh yeah, can you please take your shoes off? And you look around and be like, I ain't about to get my socks dirty. Like, that's how that was. I'm not judging them because it probably makes them feel comfortable, but I know it won't make me feel comfortable, and I know for dang sure my husband gonna be uncomfortable because he was last time. So she was like, can you guys just sit down or whatever? So then I sat. The couch brand new, but it didn't look brand new. So then I sat on the edge of the couch. I didn't sit in it the proper way. I didn't sit back. I just sat on the edge, and I'm sitting here like, oh my God, like, let's hurry get this over with so we can leave. And so Mark still ain't there. My husband calling Mark. My husband getting a little jittery because his OCD is starting to kick in. And Mark is not answering the phone at this point. So he's like, man, if he don't hurry up, like, we'll just leave. And so I'm sitting there talking to his girl. The conversation is a little weird, but I'm weird. So maybe I just felt like it was weird. So Mark finally pull up, and we're like, all right, okay, let's grab let's get a little cup to drink, and then we can go ahead and go to the bar. So then we get something to drink. The house every single dish was dirty. So he had to literally wash a couple of cups for us to drink out of. And my husband went in the kitchen with him and watched him wash our cups because it was just not a good feeling of an atmosphere. It just wasn't. And so we pour a little bit in our cups, and I'm watching her because I've been around people where if you drink and they don't drink, they up to something. And so I always watch. My husband does too, but when it's chicks, I watch them and he watch the dudes. So I'm watching her, and she never poured nothing to drink in her cup. So then I pour only a shot in mine because I don't trust people like that. So then we all cheers to a great new year, health and wealth. And so then we leave, and we're like, let's run to the gas station, and then we're going to go back out to the suburbs. So when we go to the gas station, and while we're there, Mark stopped my husband and was like, oh no, like, ain't no restaurants open. Let's just go back to the crib. We get something to eat and go back to the crib and chill. And my husband like, no, we got to make reservations. The restaurant open. Like, maybe not open out here in the city, but it's in the burbs, and that's where we're going. So it don't really matter. Like, let's go. And so Mark was like hesitant to be like, okay, but he said, okay. So then we make it out here to the suburbs to get to the restaurant, and the lady is like, she took our drink order, and she's like, can I see our IDs? So me and my husband had our IDs, and then she looked at the Mark and his girl, which I don't know her freaking name. She never told me her name. I never told her mine either, but I didn't think about it until later, which I'm about to tell in a second. And so neither one of them had the license or ID, like nothing. And so, long story short, we had to leave because we didn't want to eat or drink without them. Because they just like, we ain't gonna eat here then. It's like they just made it into a big deal for nothing. They even called the goddamn waitress racist. And it's like, how? She's doing her job. And y'all childish enough not to bring y'all licenses knowing that where we were going. So we get outside, and the girl like, oh, well, Mark, his license is in the glove compartment. While she's telling me this, Mark told my husband how he ain't got no goddamn license. And she telling me how she don't even have one. And it's like, Mark and my husband met because Mark got hired in at my husband's job. You get hired in, don't you need proof of identification? So how you don't have nothing? So that made no sense at all. And then she works in a jail, like in a men's prison. How you don't have identification? Like, it just didn't make sense. So it was like, all right, let's just go bowling. We get to the bowling alley. We pull up, and I'm like, babe, after a certain time, they check for your ID. We can't go here either. So it was just like, you know what? At this point, forget it. We about to just hurry up and get home. We're going to bring New Year's in with our kids. Y'all go ahead and do whatever y'all got to do. And just let's just go. So they still irritated about the restaurant. And what irritated us is like they never even acknowledged their fault in anything. They never apologized for it. Like nothing. They want to put blame on the goddamn old lady doing her freaking job. Like it made no sense. So then we was like, all right, whatever. Like we about to just go home. And on the way back home, I was like, I'm good on them, bro. Like, where are we going to go with them? Like, where can we go? They check for ID everywhere, except for in the city. And I'm not going nowhere in the city, bro. I'm trying to make it home to my kids. Like, and you got a 50% chance any and everywhere to not make it home to your kids. But the percentage is higher, period. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The percentage is higher in the city to not be able to come home. This lady went to a jazz club, got killed, left her 4 kids behind. A jazz club. Like, so no, I'm not about to go nowhere in the city. Sorry. So we go back home, we bring New Year's with our little chickadees, and then my husband ended up seeing them at work a few days later. Still not taking responsibility for their actions whatsoever. He was like, but bro, I need you to do me a favor. My husband like, yeah, what's up? He's like, tomorrow I got the exterminators coming to my house, and I want, he's like, and I want you to be able to like just be on FaceTime with me to hear what they saying and help keep me up. Because like I said, I didn't say, this is my second time doing this voiceover, but they work third shift. So they get home early in the morning. And he's like, I need to stay up so I can make sure I hear the door when they get here. Can you just stay on the phone with me? We'll play the game and, drink while we playing the game and stuff. So my husband was like, all right, cool. So they playing the game. And my husband is hearing the rat exterminators. You guys, these people had these rats called Norway rats. These rats are bigger than house rats, bigger than roof rats. They are the biggest rats in the city. They had these rats in their house. And the exterminator came and was like, yeah, we're going to look outside. We're going to look around the inside of the house. So my husband on the FaceTime the whole time while they waiting to see what the exterminators say, right? They was like, yeah, y'all have Norway rats. The nest where the baby mama at is underneath the brand new couch they had, you guys. Like, They just bought the couch like 2 weeks prior, if that. And they saying that the goddamn baby mama, that's where her house was. And that's where all the little baby rats was being born, under that couch that we sat on. And the fact that it was going to cost them $3,500 to get rid of the rats because they had rats in the walls. They had them going along the basement. They had them like everywhere outside. They showed them the little holes that how they was getting inside of these people's houses. And Mark gonna tell my husband like, yeah, I knew we had rats before the party, but I didn't know it was like that. And so my husband like, you mean to tell me you knew that y'all had rats before this birthday party, and you had people over there? Your mom and them had their purses open on the floor. Kids was there, and y'all got this many rats in y'all house, and they the biggest rats. Like, are you serious? Like, that don't make sense. So my husband irritated about that, about the fact that y'all got all these people and kids at y'all house, and y'all got these big rats there. And I think rats bite people. These kids could have been in the corner playing somewhere, saw the rat, freaked out, got bit. Anything could have happened. And y'all knew about it and y'all put everybody at risk because y'all are nasty. So the thing about it is, what made me realize they are delusional, Mark and his chick blamed the people next door. They blamed the people next door. Like, that was crazy. And then I'm thinking later, I'm like, I don't even know what the girl name is. Who do we spend New Year's with? Because when I used to have a job, you could tell them what you want your name tag to say. I wanted my name tag to always say Toy because people could not pronounce my real name. So I always wanted my name tag to say Toy, put Toy on the schedule, put Toy everywhere, and they did. I'm like, is Mark's real name? Because just because his name tag say it, don't mean that's this dude's real name. They didn't have a license, but you need a license to get hired in. We don't even know her name. You need a license to work in a goddamn federal prison or whatever they got there, jail, whatever they got there, men's prison. We don't know who we spend New Year's with. We don't know these people's names because they ain't got no ID. She never told me her name. Then they got rats and they knew that they did, and they invited all of these people over. Like, they are freaking disgusting, and they live in there as if it is normal to have stuff all over the house and to have holes in the wall, and you don't know where the holes came from. And then if y'all have just got that couch and the baby mama felt good enough to get her to have her kids there, they felt comfortable in that house, bro. And you just gave them a new nesting area when you bought that couch, and they been there for a minute for you to buy that couch, and that's where she at. Like that is crazy, and it's crazy disgusting. And so I hit up my friend from my last story, my last Nails and Tails, a jealous or racist friend. I hit her up and I'm telling her, like, how was y'all New Year? So I told her how ours was, and she gave me a weird, like, oh yeah, that's great. Like, what did she say? She was like, that is childish or something like that. And I said, her license. And I'm trying to joke with her, like, we don't even know who we spend New Year's with. We spend New Year's with some strangers because low key we probably did. We don't know these people's name. And then Mark quit shortly after that because he asked my husband to borrow money. My husband didn't give it to him. My husband, I'm about to give $3,500 to handle your rat problem and y'all nasty. So that's what he asked, and then my husband was like, nah, and then that's when he quit. So we don't know we don't know who these people were. So I'm telling her, and I'm trying to joke with her about it, and it was just weird. And so I'm going to put some text messages up from our conversation and a conversation from my previous one. So it was just, I felt disgusted because I'm sitting there like we spent New Year's with some rats and didn't even know it. Like, they could have been crawling all over the dishes. They could have been, what if I would have had like my bag there and had it open on the floor? We could have brought a rat home. Like, it was just so freaking disgusting. Like, I only got 20 minutes to tell this story. It's a little bit more, but that's the main thing. We don't know who we spent New Year's with, and they had rats in their house where we were just sitting there, not chilling, but just sitting there dangling. Like, it was disgusting. It was gross. Like, would y'all have freaked out if y'all had found out that y'all was at a place that had rats, and they knew that they had rats, and they invited you and your kids over there for a birthday party, eat food, like, to have cake, and like, how would y'all have felt about that? Like, that was disgusting. It's far knocker cocker to me. Like, it was disgusting. It was nasty. I was irritated and mad. But let me know how y'all feel about it. Like, I was disgusted. That's why I'm telling y'all this story. It could be a little simple, plain story. It could be nothing about it, but I was disgusted about it, to be completely honest with you. And I feel like they completely wasted our time because they knew what they were doing. That's why they were trying to get us to stay at the house instead of going out to eat, because they knew what they were up to. They knew they didn't have a license. They knew how disgusting and nasty they were. They knew everything. We're the ones that just walked in this mud blindfolded. But the final look is about to come up. I'm going to pop up these text messages again. That way you guys can kind of like pause it and read it. And also let me know what you guys thinking about the last Nails and Tails with these messages, because I think she felt like we didn't have furniture in our house. I think she felt like that's the main thing, like we didn't have furniture. So she walked in just like shocked we had furniture, and you could tell like she kind of want to be around us no more. So I'm gonna let you guys check out these text messages again and let me know what you guys think about this little disgusting story. I think it's disgusting, this disgusting story, and these text messages. But I want to thank all you guys for being here with me today. Thank you guys. I appreciate you so much. I love each and every one of you guys. I hope you guys continue to have a great day. And yeah, y'all see the text messages. So I messaged her like literally right after New Year's. And then the next time she messaged me was February 1st and was about something dealing with our kids. And after that, we didn't talk. And that's when she ended up rolling up on me in school. But this is the final look. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about this story time. It wasn't as exciting as anything else, but to me it was disgusting. So let me know how you guys would have felt if you was in a situation to be around rats and people you honestly don't know to bring your New Year's in. And you guys continue to stay blessed. If you like what you saw in today's video, hit that subscribe button, that like button, comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, darling.